welcome back to my channel, Laura Makes Meals. Today we're going to be doing a simple, takes about an hour, but total cook time, prep time is less than 10 minutes. What we're going to be making is like a Sunday meal. We're going to make chicken, which today we're doing honey sriracha. It's a little spicy marinade on our chicken, and then we're going to do roasted Brussels, and also our sort of like a twice baked potato that we do in the oven with our red potato skin. So to get started, you're going to need your chicken breast, boneless, skinless. I've got two. That normally feeds our family because we just cut it up and feed it. You're going to put your whole packet of your grill mates in here. So you put your packet in. You can marinate this. On the back it says to do it for about 15 minutes. You can let it sit for 15 minutes and then put it in the oven, or you can put it straight in. It's normally either or is okay to do. So it gives you the instructions on the back. You take a 1/4 cup of oil, and we're going to do olive oil because it's a little bit healthier. So you put your oil, 1/4 cup, and you can do it right in your bag. This is just a regular freezer bag. We've got our oil going in. And then 2 tablespoons of the apple cider and 2 tablespoons of water. So we'll just grab a simple spoon. And that's 1 and 2 of the vinegar. And then we're going to do our water. And I normally keep just a regular bottle of water that I use. You can use tap water too, but I usually keep one that I use to cook with in the cabinet. So we have 2 tablespoons of the water. Okay, and once you get all of that in there, you're going to ziplock your bag, take the air out of it, zip it shut, and you're going to just start letting that marinate on your chicken. Moving that around on the chicken, coating the chicken. And while that's sitting, we're going to go ahead and spray our pan. And you can use a glass dish or a regular pan like this. This is about an 8 to a 9-inch round pan. You can use square. It doesn't really matter as long as it's just a little bit deep so you can put your product in. So then what we're going to do is we're going to place our chicken into our cooking pan once we get it kind of coated here. And we're going to take the whole thing and put that into our pan. And you want to keep all those juices. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take that, and you want your chicken to be coated in that sauce. And then once you have it in there, you're just going to season the top of your chicken. Even with the marinade, I like to add a little bit of spice, so I put a little cracked pepper down on the tops. This is garlic powder, one of my favorites, and you just season the top. And then this is adobo all-purpose seasoning. It's Goya product. It's like a poultry seasoning. I add a little sprinkle of that to the tops of these. And then that is ready to go into the oven. And you can add onions and peppers, whatever you prefer. What we'll do, you want to cover this in the oven. Our oven's already preheating. We're going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. It's going to cook for about an hour in the oven. Actually, I'd say about 45 minutes, and then at the last 15, we're going to change up the temperature and uncover it. So we're going to cover this whole thing here. Got that ready to go. Our oven's preheating, so we're going to put that over here aside, and then we're going to get started on our Brussels. Let me wash my hands, since every time you're messing with poultry, you always want to be real safe in the kitchen and wash your hands. Okay, so what we're going Brussels next. So what we have to do with these is you can buy them fresh or in the bag like these. And you can get them in your produce department anywhere really. And once you open them, we want to rinse these. So I'm going to take my colander that I have over here. And I'm going to put my Brussels in the sink. We're actually going to go ahead and rinse them with cold water. Clean those Brussels really good. Okay, and then what we want to do is we are going to start cutting the Brussels for our tray. So we're going to cut the bottom, and then we're going to cut them in half. I'm going to go ahead and bring my tray over. So basically, I just use like a cookie sheet pan. You could use a deeper pan, but it's really not necessary for these. You're going to spray your pan. Okay, and then we're gonna be moving everything over as we're using it, putting it straight onto the pan, and then we're gonna season while it's on the pan. So we are basically cutting our stems and cutting our Brussels. Cut the bottoms off and then cut them in half. And if you like them whole, you could also leave them whole, it won't hurt. I like to cut them in half because it's easier for the children to eat. And then it also can kind of cook up a little more even. So you're cutting those ends off and then you're cutting them in half. And while we were doing this, our oven dinged and went off. So we're just going to go ahead and place our chicken in the oven. Because the chicken's going to take you a little bit longer. I'm going to put that on the bottom rack. And then we're going to set our timer for about an hour on this. Well, we'll say 45 minutes because we're going to take them out around that time. And the last 15 minutes, we're going to bump up our time. Excuse me. We're going to bump up our time, and then we are going to cook them at a higher temperature to brown. We're back over here, just finishing up our Brussels here. And this is a real simple, easy dish to make, and it's really healthy for you. So. All right, so we have got them all cut up. And now what we're going to do is we are going to season these to get ready to go into the oven. So what we want to do is we want to come and get our olive oil. And you're going to kind of open face. You want to hit that oil to hit them. So upright. Okay. And then, a decent amount of the olive oil. And this is like a really good alternative instead of using the butter. Use that olive oil, it's a lot healthier for you. So we're going to put our garlic powder. You can use the garlic salt if you like a little salt. We always use the garlic powder at our house. We got our garlic powder going, and then I'm going to come over to the cabinet and grab my pepper. Okay, so we are gonna put our cracked pepper on. This is like one of my favorites is the cracked pepper. So I normally put a decent amount. Okay, then we are gonna use our soul food seasoning. And you coat those to give them that nice flavor. And then after we have all of our spices, then what we're gonna do is cover this and cook it for the first 20 minutes covered, and then the last 5 to 10 we're gonna uncover to brown them. So we're just gonna take our foil and we are gonna cover our pan. Okay, and then we're just gonna place this aside because we're gonna wait until we're closer on our timer to put it in the oven. They all can cook at the same temperature in the oven at the 400-degree temp. But now what we're gonna do is we are going to start prepping our potatoes. And basically, for the potatoes, you can just buy the regular red skin potatoes. Come in a 2 to 5 pound bag. And we're gonna be making like, these are like gonna end up being like, sort of looking like a twice baked potato, or a little potato that you could sort of eat as a, almost looks like a, I'd say more like a twice baked potato. So we're gonna rinse those really good. Okay, then what you want to do is we are just going to take our potatoes and we are going to take a fork, and each one we're just going to kind of stab our potatoes to get little holes in it to kind of, this helps it cook faster in the oven. So we put little holes in here with our fork. We're going to do each one like that. And this just, like I said, this helps it cook a little bit faster. But your potatoes we're going to end up putting in as soon as we get done prepping them so that they can cook. They're going to take almost an hour as well. So these we are going to put in with our chicken. And then we'll wait a few minutes and put our Brussels in towards the end, since they're only about a 30-minute time. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to take these potatoes and individually wrap them. And this is the reason why we do that, is just it kind of helps them cook and not burn, so you don't want them to start burning on the outside. So we're taking our little potato, put it in the center, and then rolling it up, twist the sides like it's a piece of candy. And we're going to do that for all of them. Roll it up, cover the whole potato, twist the sides like it's a candy wrapper. Alright, so once that's done, we're just going to put those on a pan and put that in the oven. I'm going to put this in a little deeper pan because towards the end, what we're going to do is once our potatoes are done internally, we're going to dress them with our butter and some chives, also cheese, and a little bit of bacon bits. So that's like sort of a twice baked potato. So we're going to take that and we're going to just leave this uncovered like so. And we're going to set this in with our chicken as well. And that can go on that bottom rack as well. It won't hurt. Put that right next to the chicken. And then when we get ready to put our Brussels in, we're going to put that on the top. So we're at like about 35 minutes in on our timer. Our chicken's been cooking about 30 minutes or so. So we're going to put our Brussels in just a few more minutes. So we will return in a few and we'll put our Brussels in and get started on that. And then when they come out, we'll uncover our chicken, which we'll talk about soon. All right, guys. Hey guys, we're back and we are going to check on our chicken and uncover the top. And the reason why we do this part is we want it to be able to brown. So what I do is at this point I am going to take a spoon and just kind of like take some of that juice and let it get on top of there. So you just use your pan marinade that you have in here and put a little bit on top. Okay, and we're going to leave that uncovered. Put that back in the oven, same temperature. Well, actually, we're going to change the temperature, but I bumped that up. So, we're going to change this to 425 so it can brown faster. So we get that going. Our potatoes are still cooking. We're going to keep those in there. And then we've got our Brussels in this. At this point, just check on the Brussels and just see what they're looking like. We might want to uncover at this point. Let's just see. Okay, so I would say let them cook uncovered at this point. And that will give them those brown crispy edges. So right now, I'm going to stick them back in and let them brown up along with the chicken and the potatoes. Let's check on those and see what we look like. Okay. So I'm going to let the potatoes cook a little bit longer. So you want the potatoes to be soft so that we can cut them open and add our toppings to it. So we're going to let that cook at least for, I would say at least for another 10 minutes at least. And then we'll eyeball it, kind of check on it at that point and see if it's browned up enough. Okay, so we'll get back with you in a few and see how that's going. Alright guys, so I've taken out the Brussels sprouts and we're just going to let them start to cool down a little bit before we serve those. We're going to finish off our potatoes. In the meantime, our chicken breasts are done and I'm going to add a little bit of Italian dressing to those. And then we can set it back in the oven just a few minutes just to caramelize. So we're going to go and start finishing up our potatoes. What you need is butter. You can use olive oil if you like. With this butter, add a little bit more flavor with potatoes. Monterey Jack, shredded Kobe cheese, bacon bits, and then we're going to finish them off with the green onions. So once your potatoes are done, you're just going to simply unravel them out of the foil, leave them sitting still in the foil. And as you can see, I already started undoing them. You're going to cut them in half. Okay, once they're all cut open, you're going to take your you can just use a fork. This is easier with a fork. Kind of press that into your potatoes. take that butter and kind of push it between both sides of that potato. Okay. And then what you want to do is also we're going to season those with our garlic powder, the sulfur seasoning, and the pepper, which is the same things we used on our Brussels sprouts earlier. We're going to take our cracked pepper and go over all of those. And this one, I think we forgot to put a little bit of butter on that one. Butter on that one. Okay, cracked pepper. And then our garlic powder. And this is all just to the taste, however much you like it, to flavor it. Salt seasoning. Okay, and once you have all of that on there, you're gonna take your cheese, put your cheese on top. Actually, maybe like a tablespoon worth, just cover your potato. That's why I say it's easier to leave it in the little oils that they're already in, so you don't kind of messy up your oven. And then when you get that all on there, you're gonna take your bacon bits. And these are the cooked bacon bit toppings, real bacon bits. Take a little and you're gonna sprinkle on each potato. And then that's gonna go back in the oven. We lowered the heat to 400 because we don't want to kind of overdo it, and make sure that they're cooked well done. We're gonna put our chicken back in as well, and then we're gonna let these brown. So once these go back in, I would put it on the lower end. We're gonna put these in for maybe 10 more minutes and let that start cooking. And then our final touches while that's cooking over there is we are going to take and start cleaning and cutting our green onions. So we're gonna rinse those. And we're gonna pat those dry. And this is going to be the last thing that we add to our potatoes when they come out. And you can use the cutting board and cut them. Another technique is to use the kitchen shears if you want to do it quick, or if you want to have one of the kids help you in the kitchen. This is the one that's a lot easier. You make sure you don't cut yourself this way. Okay, so take that, and we'll have that ready to go for when our potatoes come out. In just a few minutes, we'll let that keep going, and then when that comes out, we'll see our final finale on our meal today. Okay guys, so we're gonna wrap up our meal, and we've already started plating. We've got our chicken, the honey sriracha chicken. We've got our roasted Brussels sprouts, and then we're gonna pull out our potatoes. We have our potatoes, and we're gonna add our green onions to those. So you're gonna take those green onions that you cut and just kind of sprinkle a few on top of each potato, for flavor and for color. Okay, And then we're gonna plate that as well. So we're gonna take one of our potatoes and bring it over. Add that to our plate. We've got one, we'll put two on there. This one will be Daddy's because Daddy likes 2 potatoes. That's basically our meal. Our potatoes, and we've got our chicken and our Brussels. So this is a good Sunday dinner. It takes about an hour to cook and about 10 minutes to prep. But this is something that can be done really fast and inexpensive. Your chicken breasts are inexpensive. You could also do it if you like dark meat with thighs or legs, potatoes, and the Brussels. So this meal would probably cost you, I'd say maybe $10 to $12 total, just depending on how many chicken breasts you need. So I'd like to invite you to come back and check out my channel, Laura Makes Meals, and like my channel and subscribe to that channel. We'd love to see you again, and hope if this recipe interests you, that you come back and watch some more of my videos. All right, thank you.